Chat, guys, this one's a long one.
This is a long one indeed.
Chat,
Jesus.
this one's a long one.
I heard
One.
what was it? JCS. They didn't upload too much in it, right? Because he used to watch this a while back, a lot.
I got.
But now I only watch EWU.
Chat, this is in Midwest Safety
or the other one,
or EWU,
whatever that one's called.
Story time. Chat.
Real question.
I think they got clapped.
Guys, he hasn't uploaded in like fucking 6 months.
They got clapped.
1 year.
Yeah, this is the GOAT.
Chat. Without JCS, there's no Midwest Safety. There's no EWU body cam.
Yes.
There's no crime this, crime that. But JCS
Midwest Safety, that's the one I was talking about.
I think they got clapped by a bunch of like
classic.
Like,
I mean, EWU sucks because they
like
put the copyright
shit,
symbol over it.
They tank, guys. They tank.
They put the watermark over it. It sucks, man.
No, he wasn't. Oh, that's speculation. Okay, well, whatever, man. Did he ever say why then? I was just speculating, but yeah. Well, he went to jail. What?
Here's why JCS criminal psychology quit YouTube. Their videos would constantly violate the violence and sensitive event
That's what I said.
leading to monetization issues and their videos being deleted without explanation. It got so bad that arranged to meet with YouTube, who'd still remove their biggest video ever, leading JCS to announce moving away from YouTube, nuking us for the upteenth time. Fans believe this led to disputes between the owners, who constantly struggled to post consistently, offering no explanation besides a few things came up. They'd confirm an exit strategy from YouTube is now in the works, but without a single post in almost 2 years, it seems they've sadly just given up completely. Here's
What
why
the fuck is
JCS
this
criminal
video?
psychology quit YouTube.
Suddenly V2 short? Huh? Yeah, look, it's 3 years ago. 3 years ago, I watched this. I remember this lady. I remember that lady.
Guys. I'm watching it regardless.
I watched that.
It's an hour video, chat, but these are really good videos. Guys, all I'm saying, chat, is don't make references or comparisons or inferences to real people like on Twitch or whatever or some shit, okay? Unless it's like completely harmless. Because these videos depict of people that did bad acts that are terrible, and comparing them to people that have not done that is just fucking weird.
No,
it's just
not weird.
Don't do it. You're getting abandoned.
It's not weird.
I'm telling you, you're getting abandoned. You're not getting any warnings.
Because they're people just like us.
When I watch videos.
They're people just
Also,
like
don't-
us.
don't be- don't-
You
don't be an
pretend
asshat.
like these people aren't
videos
people
called,
just
you
because
and
they've done
Reds
something
tell
that's
on
just
each
not
other.
true. You're
JCS, you
delusional.
Don't
They are
forget.
just people just like
shot.
you. They're not
Secret
demons.
union that
They're
unites
people.
two souls into a
Fucking
lifelong
cunt.
journey.
That's
So-
what we said it.
Behold,
If you
the
can't
sacred
take being
union that unites two
compared
souls into a
to
lifelong
a
journey.
murderer,
On the 2nd of December of 2017,
are you-
Amelia and Joshua got married.
that like
They danced through the night to
being
their favorite
compared to a
love songs, which
murderer,
consisted
that's not the
primarily of
worst
Ed
part.
Sheeran.
It's that you
Then
can't
continued
take
the
it.
celebration in their luxury hotel
Right?
room that was overlooking the
You
river.
can't take it as
They moved
a
to
as a
Florida,
non-serious
bought a
joke.
house, and absolutely
How
loved
do
it.
you not
Except
take
the
it as a
only issue was
non-serious
that
joke?
It didn't have
It's
a
so
nice enough
fucking
kitchen,
stupid,
so
man.
they decided to commit first-degree fraud. You see, both Amelia and Joshua worked at the bank. Josh was a loan recovery officer, the person from the bank that calls you up to politely threaten you about your overdue payments. Amelia was a bank teller, meaning she took care of regular transactions, such as depositing checks or withdrawing money for her customers. And one of these customers was an elderly man called Gerald Stack. Gerald had informed Amelia that he had sustained a traumatic brain injury and therefore was easily confused and forgetful. So Amelia initially began helping him out, even with things outside of her job, such as bringing him groceries or managing errands. But then her husband found out and came up with the idea to steal $50,000 from her client's bank account, hoping he wouldn't notice, asserting that the money would go towards buying a new kitchen. Amelia then proceeded with the plan by writing herself 2 checks from Gerald's account for $25,000 each. And then, as expected, Gerald didn't notice. So they...
And it's not 125. Because I'm guessing if you do it 53 minutes, they want to keep it under 1 hour. Because that's what they do with their other uploads usually, right? and they probably didn't. The video at normal speed just didn't make it in, and they probably squeezed a couple parts in so that it fit the video narration.
They began enjoying life being 50 grand richer, assuming their plan had actually come to fruition. But exactly 15 weeks later, Amelia's phone rang. On the other end was Gerald's 52-year-old daughter, Cynthia, asking for a transaction history on her father's bank account and why there was $50,000 missing. Amelia's response was that she couldn't give out too much information because Cynthia wasn't the account holder, but she assured her she would look into it thoroughly and get back to her. Cynthia would then leave multiple missed calls on Amelia's phone over the next 3 days. But on day 4, the calls stopped coming in. On July 18, 2018, Cynthia and her 23-year-old son, Sean, were found shot to death in their apartment.
What?
Forensics went through Cynthia's call history and very quickly uncovered the situation with Amelia and the stolen money. They already had enough evidence to charge her with fraud and send her to jail, but they were far more interested in Josh, their prime suspect in the murders. They had an eyewitness account from a neighbor that placed someone matching his description at the scene, and they also discovered that he had recently purchased a gun from a pawn shop. But this wasn't enough to charge him with murder, which is why they needed a confession, and the primary objective was to obtain it from Amelia. Their interrogations began 9 days after the murders on July 26th. Josh was arrested at work, while Amelia was arrested at their home. She was brought in first at 11:30 a.m.
He's off now, I know.
What's the detective get there?
No subtitles yet. It's brand new upload.
Just put it down. Hang on. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Dude,
Why am I here?
with a paper trail, like clear as day. Why? Ah, sorry.
Hey, Amelia, you want to stand up? I'll get those off of you.
Yeah.
All right, my partner's coming right back. We'll be right with you, okay?
Well, I mean, she's already acting fake surprised, which is just odd. It's odd because you would think that they would have thought about what happens if they get caught.
Hey, they got those off you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Here, put you some water.
All right, Amelia. Obviously you want to know what's going on, and you know we want to talk to you about some stuff.
Okay.
So let me start at the
Same
beginning. I'm
shirt.
gonna record everything this way we don't miss anything. All right? All right.
Am I like getting arrested or something for something? Or?
I'm gonna explain it to
Yeah,
you.
we'll explain it all to you. Okay.
They collect Amelia's basic information, her home address and phone number.
Good dodge, good
All right,
dodge.
Amelia. We gotta go over these with you, okay? Because you were brought here the way you were brought here. All right? I want to talk to you. There's always two sides to every story. You understand what I'm saying? And obviously we have one side of a story right now, and that's why you're sitting here. So we want to get the other side of the story, okay? But for us to talk to you, I want to make sure I go over your rights with you and you understand those rights, okay? And if you have any questions about any of these, you make sure you ask me, okay? All right. All right, you have the right to remain silent. Do you understand? Is that yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all right. Any questions about that? No?
I'm
Okay.
just okay. I just normally when this starts is like someone getting in trouble or arrested or something.
Well, we just, like I said, we want to be able to talk to you.
And we split
right?
it up
this
and
is the
shit.
right way to do that, and I'm sure there could be a very reasonable explanation as to why you're here.
Yeah.
All right, but we have to talk to you about that, okay?
Okay.
So like I said, we only have one side of a story. When we have one side, we have to go on that until we have the other side of the story, okay?
Yeah.
But just
Something on
because
fucking eye.
these are your rights, I want to make sure you
Fucking
understand.
eye,
okay?
man.
It's just for us to
Fuck!
talk to each other.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Anything you say may be used against you in court. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So how long have you lived at that house over there?
We moved in June, either June or July. We just purchased that home.
Okay.
He asks Amelia what she does for work. She clarifies that she works at Chase as a bank teller.
Okay, so you work for Chase. Okay. How long you work for Chase for?
December will be 3 years, I believe, or 4 years. I'm not too sure. After 4 years. Yeah.
Any issues while you're working at Chase?
No. I got a write-up recently.
You did?
Yeah.
What happened?
When was this, in May?
Mm-hmm.
I issued 2 checks for a customer, and I got a write-up for that because they weren't in the branch.
Okay.
But other than that, I didn't.
All right.
Yeah,
So, Amelia, I can tell you the reason why we're here today is because of that issue with the bank.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Does that surprise you?
For this type of situation, yeah.
Okay.
Like this intense. I mean, I got in trouble at work, which makes sense, but I'm just confused about this.
Well, let's walk through it a little bit, okay? Let's walk through that and see how maybe we came here today, all right, and find out if this was just a misunderstanding or what, okay? So, what was the name of the customer?
Gerald.
Okay.
Mr. Gerald.
So what happened with this write-up? So, I mean, had you been a banker for him for a while? I mean...
Yeah, so I've been his banker since I moved here.
Did you... Okay.
Since we moved here.
So what happened with these checks?
Nothing. He called him. I have the record over global security.
Mm-hmm.
So when they came in, they pulled like call logs, they pulled like cameras, just to make sure like they pulled signature files.
Amelia tries to use imprecise workplace terminology to confuse the detectives. She basically suggests that a security check has already been carried out by her bank, finding no misconduct or malpractice, which is incorrect. She could no longer deal with Gerald's account, and an internal investigation was still ongoing at the time of her arrest.
And that was it. I mean, that happened since March. That was...
And when you talk to Gerald, I mean, how did he appear to you? Is he a young guy, old guy?
He's old.
Oh, well, how did he appear to you when you talked to him?
He's okay.
He was okay?
Yeah.
Do you ever have any issues when you talked to him about remembering things or anything like that?
No, he told me he had brain... Like, I know, like, a little about himself. Like, he had brain surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But for the most part, he remembers things. I don't forget really. He just...
So he had you draw
So
these
they
two
targeted
checks.
them from the get-go.
How much were they worth?
$25,000 each.
What did he have you do? Like, what did he ask for?
Nothing. It's just we put two checks and $25,000 each, and that was it.
She doesn't clarify where the money was sent, and seems to think that being ambiguous enough will prompt the detectives to move past it, which is obviously ridiculous. They will now initiate the first confrontation.
You've never been arrested before, is that correct?
No, sir.
You have a 7-year-old son, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Let me explain something to you, Amelia.
Okay.
All right?
Uh-oh.
We've talked to Gerald, all right? Gerald can't barely tell you what day it is, okay? So, and anybody who talks to him should know that. So if he asked you to do that, there's two problems we have here, isn't there? Let's start talking, let's agree with each other. There's two problems, don't you think?
Okay.
Over the next 8 minutes, Amelia confesses to the theft, but the Orange County Police have redacted the footage, albeit leaving 2 tiny segments.
You see now?
But it's not like I don't want to make it. Okay.
No.
I don't want to say I took advantage of him, because he's a really nice guy.
The
She
footage
is this
resumes
guy.
shortly after the confession. What you need to know is the detective has just asked Amelia about her last correspondence with Cynthia, which is only for the purpose of shifting the focus of the interrogation onto her husband.
Last time, she was supposed to call me back last week, Friday, I believe. And I haven't heard from her since, so...
Okay. Does anybody else talk to Cindy? That you know? No?
Just me.
Okay. And, Josh? Did he ever talk to them?
No, he never spoke to them. He doesn't even know who they are.
Okay. What, have you been at their house?
Yo, turn off your fucking car alarm, man. What the fuck?
Really?
It's possible Josh went over there and you didn't know?
Man.
I mean, how would he know where they live, though?
That's not the question. I was asking, is it possible that he went over there?
Not that I know.
What the fuck, man? Every fucking time. It's like every day now. Somebody bumps into a fucking car and the alarm goes off. It's every fucking day now.
Well, this guy's locking in.
That Cindy hasn't called you since then? You think she just stopped?
Well, she had told me that she was going to reach back out to me Friday.
So today's Thursday. It's been almost a week. And she hasn't reached out to you at all. Have you reached out to her? How come?
I was gonna call her, but she told me that she was gonna call me, but I told her that I was going on vacation.
The investigator will now bring the discussion to Josh's whereabouts last Wednesday, the day Sean and Cynthia were murdered.
Did you, was there any night, I mean, does he normally go out with friends or anything like that?
We go out all the time, actually.
You guys go out. Did he go out without you at one point in time?
He went to Daytona.
What night?
Went to Daytona either Wednesday or Thursday.
The victims were murdered on the Wednesday in Orlando. Daytona is an hour's drive away.
Wednesday or Thursday.
He went to Daytona? What did you go to Daytona for?
I don't know.
She asserts they got in a fight and he just left and turned his
Yeah,
phone off the
imagine
entire
murdering
night.
And when
two
was the last time
people
before that
for
you got
one
involved?
half of a super bonus. It's one
Maybe
half
weeks
of
before
a
that?
super
What's in
bonus.
Daytona that
And then
goes
he
to?
went.
That's just embarrassing, man.
He just went too. He went this week too again.
Where is he going in Daytona?
I have
Like
no clue.
fucking brokey.
She asserts that
Actual
Josh left
brokey.
midday and returned at roughly 9 a.m. the next morning, claiming to have been out with his friends.
Dude, imagine
the second
working and still
detective
being
will now
broke.
contribute and engage the suspect
Embarrassing.
from a completely different angle.
Before we
Embarrassing.
met today, we obviously researched some things, and your relationship with Matthew was abusive. Would you agree with that?
Yes, sir.
Matthew is
come
Amelia's
on.
ex-boyfriend.
How's your
Dude, let's be honest. Bro. A wife / girlfriend, some guy leaves some place far away overnight, bro, she would have definitely asked, like, come on, bro. Like,
relationship with Joshua?
I mean, we fight a lot.
hey, we went out
When
biking.
was the last time?
Like nothing crazy. Like 2 weeks ago.
What happened 2 weeks ago?
He went through. I went out with a few friends, and I guess someone texted me, and he like flipped out.
Has his behavior
Baby
changed
Jack.
recently? No? Has he ever threatened to kill you? No. Have you ever seen any violent tendencies other than...
He gets really angry.
Okay.
He like yells.
What happens when he gets really angry?
I mean, he yells really loud. He like punches stuff, like the wall. So yeah.
Are we safe to assume that Julian's the most important person in your life?
Absolutely, 100%.
All right. Are you scared of Josh?
No.
If he did something wrong that put your son and your son's future and your future in jeopardy, would you tell us about it?
Of course.
Okay. But that's all I got, Pete.
There's a few more things. Like Detective Murray, she said, I think you're kind of at this crossroads right now, okay? You've got Josh, who you probably love, and he's your husband, okay? But you also have Julian. And you got to picture that little boy. You got to picture not being able to watch him grow up. Think about that for a second. Think about being put somewhere very far away from him, and the only way you're going to have contact with him is through letters. You're going to get pictures in jail, in prison, of your little boy growing up.
Oh, one point.
He's going to grow up with his grandparents, maybe? Who knows? Maybe Matthew's grandparents, maybe Matthew's parents, maybe somebody else will try and take him away from them.
Both my hands in the air, chat. Guys, if you go to jail for
Dude,
crimes
it's
like
an
those,
alt,
or
it's a
like
toddler
you
alt.
possibly killed somebody or whatever, right?
Like
It
that's,
should be part of the
this is how a
punishment that you
toddler
don't get
cries
that.
if he
I'm sorry.
he gets
Maybe it
caught.
sounds kind of too harsh, or whatever. It should be part of the punishment that you don't get to see your children grow up, whatever.
Because
it
it's
is what it is,
actually
because those people
one-to-one.
will not get to see their
the
children,
lip-
and children won't get to see them if you kill somebody.
And
So why would they?
Hold on, dude.
Why would they?
Take your kids away from you, okay? You got to start thinking long and hard who you're going to teach them. If Josh screwed up, he screwed up. That's not on you. But anything you know about that, we need to know about. He messed this up. He did this. He did this. And I don't want to go in there and have them tell me that you told him to go do it. You understand this? This whole
Think
thing.
it'll be
I'm talking
fine.
about everything.
As you may have noticed, the detectives haven't mentioned the murders yet. They've been keeping it as open as possible in the hope she will volunteer the element herself.
We can't do this anymore. Now's the time. Tell us what he did. So you can look at your son and say, I did the right thing in the end. What did he do? We need to know.
I don't want to go to jail. I don't
Tell
want
us, listen, you have to trust us.
Boy, it's already over.
Okay?
I don't want to get in trouble for
We know
any
you
of
didn't
this.
do this. We know
I
you
don't want to
didn't.
get in trouble for any
If she
of
knows
this.
something, she didn't say anything.
Nothing to do with
She's
me.
already over.
I don't know the severity of what he did.
And there we have it. What appeared to be the brink of a very compelling confession wasn't. Amelia remains obtuse while subtly trying to bargain for some type of clemency, and this repeats itself for the next 3.5 minutes.
Also, she already lied to the police multiple times based off of that, so.
Until the lead detective decides that he's had enough. He will now reveal the extent of the investigation's evidence, and get to the real reason why she's sitting in this interrogation room.
They're both dead.
Pretty people got ads. People saying, ads, I can't see, ads! We'll give him a shot. We'll give him a shot. I can't see what's happening on the stream, man. What's happening? Chat, what is happening? Okay, we're good now.
What?
Yeah. They're dead. So, now we really need to talk. Okay?
How did they die?
They were murdered.
Where?
Listen. If there's anything that you know about this, okay?
Uh-huh.
Now
One, two, one, two,
fuck,
one,
this is the
two.
first
Every
time.
fucking
Let's go
time
there.
I do anything, it always gets interrupted. Every fucking time, it always gets interrupted. Right?
No, of course,
I
yeah,
stream.
don't like that.
I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to do that, I have to do that. There's never a point in time where I can just
Me?
do anything for a prolonged period of time.
Let me explain it
Because
to
it's
you.
always a fucking car alarm. Some fucking package that's not even fucking mine because it's for a person that doesn't even live here. Come on, man.
What is that?
Hey, Josh, that
If
you're telling us
if you
somewhere
don't
where
live
he was,
here,
that you're
why
lying
is
to
your
us about where he
package
was,
being
what you
sent
know, what
to
you don't
me,
know about the gun,
man?
about any of it. If we find that out, guess what you become?
That's real. Compass.
I don't know.
You become a principal. Principal to homicide in the first degree.
I don't want to go to jail. I didn't do anything. So, if whatever you guys need to know, I can tell you as
Yes,
much
we
as I
need to know. We need to know what Josh did. We need to know, and anything that you know about it, you need to tell us. Okay? You need to. This is the time right now. All right?
Hold on, chat, one pause.
You gotta understand.
Guys, I'm actually gonna somehow impress because she was avoiding eye contact a lot of times and doing a lot of dismissive stuff. And when the moment comes in where she actually gets called out, usually they avoid contact because it makes them embarrassed or whatever, right? It's like an attack on them. But she's kind of locked in.
Okay? What did he tell you?
Because she knows what to do.
My biggest thing right now is I need to know that
She knows
I'm
she
going
has to
home.
shift the blame.
This is one of the few things police can't actually lie about. They can't make promises with respect to sentencing in exchange for compliance, as this would render an interrogation inadmissible. They can divert and deflect from the element to avoid shutting it down altogether, but they absolutely must not substantiate it as a guarantee.
I need to know that I'm going to see my son. I need to know that I have no part of this whatsoever.
If you didn't know he was going to go over there and do that, then that's
I
fine.
have no.
Listen, you don't want me to go in there and him tell me, guess what? I went over there. She gave me the address. She told me to go over there and take care of the problem. Do you understand that? What if he says that?
I didn't do anything. I didn't even know
Right,
that you
so
oh
listen.
my god.
Listen, I was just going where she told me to go. All right? She told me this is all her idea. And again,
Yeah,
this is
she's
what I'm saying. You gotta
crazy.
wonder, if he's put his hands on you and if he's done
Soul
things to you in the
was a
past, do you
bitch.
think he's got any loyalty to you whatsoever? Or do you think I have a problem putting you
Now
squarely
I
in
was
the
gonna
middle?
bait her with something that's like
I do not want to
lesser.
go to jail. I don't. Like, if I get fired,
Wait,
okay, let me
5
get fired
minutes
at
ago
work.
it
I
was the
don't wanna
detective
go to
is
jail.
cooking,
We
and now
need to
it's
be able to go to them and say she's
detective
completely-
sucks.
Completely 100%
What is
honest
it
and truthful
now?
with us. We
Is
didn't have to give her a
detective
polygraph.
good or
We
bad?
didn't have to do any of that stuff because she told us everything, okay?
And then if I
I'm
do
not-
tell you everything,
I'm not-
how am I promise I'm not gonna go to
Well,
jail?
again, we can't make you promises, but what we can say is
The investigator is clutching at straws trying to navigate this element, literally. He will now provide a very generic compromise which Amelia will immediately see through, and in exactly 2 seconds, she will shake her head, as if to say,
No deal.
what we can absolutely say is she was 100% truthful with us. She was remorseful. She didn't leave anything out. She told us. Now, Detective Mareshi and I are not going to sit here right now and say you're being 100% completely honest with us. There's stuff that's eating at you. It's bothering you.
Well,
Right?
chat, that works with children.
It's eating at you. There's things that you know that
That's
you
bad
want to
answer.
get out, but you're just scared.
Yes, I'm
Okay.
scared.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's something we're going to have to work through, okay? But we can work through that stuff.
Amelia takes the advice and tries to work on her issues.
Seriously, she's
I want
acting
to
like
know
a child.
that
It's a
I'm
good
not
3
gonna go to
points.
jail. Like that's what I want to know.
Right?
I
You
didn't
know
do
that if
anything. I
a
didn't
adulterer does
conspire
something bad,
anything.
right?
Not,
they're
my
gonna
intention is not to hurt
them.
anybody.
Listen to me for
or-
just a second.
Right? And now she's doing it because she wants the
I
same
have
treatment.
to, but I could tell you right.
She wants to be treated like a child. She wants to get away with it. She wants to get away with being scolded and nothing more.
You're gonna go to
That's
prison.
why she's acting like a child.
I don't want to go to either or. I don't want to do either
Tell
or.
this man everything you know. Tell the truth, and it starts from there, Amelia.
Okay. When she had called me about the whole
It's just her
situation,
She
acting is
repeats
shit.
how her conversation
Her
went with
acting is
Cynthia.
garbage.
and then she told me on
She can't
Friday
act for
that she was
shit.
gonna
The
go
only
to
thing
the
is
branch.
she's kind of showing
I
that
told her
she
wants to
knows
come
way
on
more than
Friday.
she's letting on.
And I haven't heard from her since.
She's still given the detectives absolutely nothing they can use, so they reinstate the pressure.
You don't want to be wrapped up in this. You don't, you didn't do this, okay? He's bringing this on you. You understand what I'm saying? He's bringing this on you. So I don't think there's a loyalty to him. I don't think you're worried about telling us what he did. I don't think that's that. Am I right in that? I mean, you're not worried about telling us what he did.
I don't care about him.
Right.
At
That's
this point,
okay. That's kind of where I'm at too.
At
I
this
think
point, I care
you're
about
in a
myself.
self-preservation mode. Okay.
Absolutely.
Right.
I'm not.
So
I don't
understand something.
I don't want to go to jail.
You're gonna have a journey ahead of you. Okay.
Of course.
And again, it starts here and it starts now, and it starts with how you want to see this journey through. Okay, you did some wrong stuff. You made mistakes. Nobody's going to crucify you for that. Okay, you're a young woman. You're a smart woman. I think you're in a volatile relationship with somebody who treats you very badly. I think you're in a relationship where he manipulates you. It sounds like he puts his hands on you. You're in a bad spot. You have your child.
Amelia starts giving away more information, starting from the morning after the victims were killed.
When he got home the next day, he came home like around 9 o'clock. My mom was with me on the side of my house, and we were trying to figure out like where was he, what was he doing. He was nervous when he got home.
Okay.
He was really nervous.
And that's the extent of what she says. She acts like she's beginning to cooperate, then just doesn't. And it's become a pattern at this point.
Are you telling us the truth that when you walked in this room, you had no idea those two people were dead?
No, I had no clue.
Okay.
I just want to know. I want to go home. That's all I want to do is I want to go home.
And so then Wednesday, after he dropped Julian off, did he go to work on Wednesday?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
Right.
Did you work that day?
I did. I worked all week. I didn't call out until today. This is my first day I called out
Okay.
for this month.
Well, Josh is here. Okay, and you're at least gonna have to stay here till we're done talking with him.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want anything to eat? We got a snack bar down there.
I'm not hungry. My
Okay.
stomach is just.
If you do, just knock on the door. Okay.
Can I use the restroom?
Bathroom?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get somebody to use that. Yeah.
How are these people even allowed or able to get a job at the bank? Just how did they not know that, dude? If they asked for a lawyer right there on the spot, that she would have went home and she could still go home, and she's there like trying to bargain how to go home. Bro, if she called for a lawyer, she'd go home already.
Yeah.
Sorry, am I done or?
Well, we have some more talking to do.
It's like common sense, no?
28 hours, that concludes this interview.
I have a question. Will I be able to go home later today or no?
We're gonna have to see. We're interested in seeing what Josh says.
Do I just sit in here?
Yeah. Like, so we'll get somebody to take you to the bathroom, and like after that, in the meantime, just knock on the door.
Oh my God.
This is obviously not the last you'll see of Amelia, and you're now about to see the opening phase of her husband's interrogation, who unbeknownst to her had been waiting in the room directly adjacent for just over 2 hours. The detectives will enter his room 18 minutes after they left Amelia's.
Oh, they're letting marinate in. Classic.
Hey, how you doing? Josh?
Oh, yeah.
Cold?
It is cold in
Well, that
here.
water's a little warm, so that might warm you up a little bit.
Yeah, it's cold in here.
They're
All right,
exhausting
Josh,
him.
well, we can explain to you what's going on, obviously. I'm sure you want to know. Got a couple things we need to go over first before we do that. So you have the right to remain silent, do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Has anyone threatened you or promised you anything to get you to talk to me?
No.
Okay. Okay.
Chad, look how squeezed he is. Look at this. His leg's almost touching the detective's leg. Holy.
I don't know.
This guy
Here's
is
this question. I'm gonna
cooked.
throw this out
It's
to you.
over.
Why do you think you're sitting here right now?
I honestly have no idea.
No idea.
No idea.
Okay. Have you?
Yeah, there's a
Well,
lot
it's
of
just-
Wait
tension
till he
in the
locks
room.
in
When
and
was the
leans
last
forward.
bank account that you opened?
This is an indirect confrontation about the theft. The context is that he recently opened an account for Amelia's son Julian at Bank of America, which is where they hid the 50 grand.
Bank of America.
Okay. In whose name?
In my name and Julian's name.
Okay. Tell me about that.
He explains the process of opening an account for a minor at Bank of America. He mentions nothing of the stolen money and continues to act oblivious. The investigator doesn't confront him. He instead sharply switches the discourse to a more threatening element. You'll notice this interrogation moves at a much faster pace than the one you just saw.
Do you want a firearm?
I did. I actually bought one last week, Monday.
The detectives already knew this, so he does the smart thing and volunteers the information, but also feels the need to immediately clarify how there is no possible way for that gun to have been involved in any shady activity since its purchase. So Josh's explanation is that he drove halfway up a bridge while he was in Daytona and threw it off.
And you threw it off the overpass?
Yeah.
Was it all in one piece?
Yeah, all in one piece.
What caliber is that gun?
I think it was a 9mm.
What kind of ammunition did you put in it?
I didn't have any ammunition inside of it.
You didn't have any ammunition inside of it?
No.
Did you buy ammunition for it when you bought it?
No.
Okay. Well, I just get a little confused. So, explain to me your reasoning again as to why you threw this gun off this pier.
I had a a relapse of what happened to me.
What Josh meant to say here is that he had a flashback, and what he's talking about is the fact that he accidentally shot himself in the leg with his own gun while getting out of the car to go bowling.
What?
And now everyone calls him Cheddar Bob, the fictional character in the 8 Mile movie who also accidentally shot himself in the leg with his own gun.
And I was like, some shit happens again by accident.
I guess that's where I get a little concerned. Well, my thing is, you guys are kind of hurting for money, sounds like. I mean, you're working now, but you're
I'm working now, so things
so
are...
you spent $250 in cash on this gun.
Yeah.
It's a pawn shop.
Mm-hmm.
Pawn shops are pretty good. I mean, usually you can go back and...
$250?
Yeah,
back,
but
right?
I was like, at that very moment, I was like, anything could fucking happen, and I'm like...
But it's not loaded.
It wasn't loaded, yeah.
So right now, you got basically a paperweight.
Yeah.
So it's not dangerous to you at that point in time.
Mm-hmm. But for me, mentality-wise, I wasn't thinking like that. I just threw it.
Cheddar Bob.
Josh, listen.
Mm-hmm.
We're here for something very, very serious, okay?
Okay.
Let's walk through this a little bit, okay?
Mm-hmm.
What are we missing?
Nothing that I know of. I mean, told you guys where I was, what I was doing. I mean, you could check our phone records too. We've been fighting for a long time.
Well,
the reason he gave for being in Daytona was because he was fighting with Amelia, which is what he just referred to. But of much greater interest and perceptibly out of nowhere, the detective will now initiate the confrontation.
Explain this to me, okay?
Mm-hmm.
No, like
How is it that you wound up at Cynthia's house, Cynthia's apartment over on Jefferson? Because I have eyewitnesses that put you there.
I was never at her place.
Okay. All right.
Notice how he didn't inquire into who Cynthia is or why she was even brought up in the discussion. He just immediately denies the very sudden and seemingly random allegation. But more to the purpose, you'll have noticed how the detective hasn't outright accused him of murder, only placed him at the scene. This is because he's about to provide Josh with an escape route, a morally acceptable explanation as to why he would be there. He's basically trying to get one foot in the door and attain the first level of admission.
Listen to me. You were there. Well, I need to know why you were there. You understand what I'm saying? If there's some innocent reason, I need to know. But I need to know why. So why did you go there? Did you go there to tell them that you were going to pay him back?
This is the face of someone falling for the oldest trick in the book, on the very first attempt. You're about to see him seize what he believes to be the unique opportunity to save himself, at the expense of his wife.
No, okay. Can we clear this whole thing out?
What's up?
Okay. So, Amelia was freaking out.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I did chuck my gun over the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
Okay.
The next 2 minutes of footage has also been cut out. What you need to know is that Josh has now conceded to knowing about the fraud, and that he did in fact go over to Cynthia's house on the day in question, but only to let her know they would be paying her back, which you might recall was the exact reason afforded to him by the detective. The rest of what he spoke on will now be relayed back to him.
If I'm understanding you right, you're saying Amelia is the one that talked to somebody to take care of them?
Yeah, and I don't
Why?
I have no idea.
Well, I mean, how do you know that?
Well, there was a kid that came to our house.
What's his name?
Jay something. I don't know his phone. I've seen him once at my house.
So Amelia's so scared about this and worried about this. And you explain to me. So who kept on calling her and wouldn't leave her alone?
I think
Jason
it was the same
Smith.
second lady. I didn't ask any questions. She said, "Oh, somebody keeps calling me." She said one of Gerald's families. I said, "Okay, that's fine." Then some kid
Jay-Z,
came
huh?
over. It was like
Coincidence?
11 o'clock at night.
She gave him $10,000 to what?
I have no idea. And from my
What do
understanding,
you think she gave him $10,000 for?
to kill him or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
When did dollars for?
To kill him or something. I don't know. I have no idea.
When did you find out about this? Before?
Yeah.
Unlucky Josh, wrong answer. You just told on yourself in your own made-up story, and you're going to jail no matter what. But the detectives really won't care about this, because they want to send him to jail forever, not just a few years.
I think it was
Unlucky. Classic.
Saturday or Sunday.
The Saturday or Sunday before you went over there on Tuesday?
Mm-hmm.
Josh's imagination goes on for another 6 minutes. The detective doesn't even bother following up with questions. He just goes straight back to confrontation.
If it's something that got out of hand versus something that you planned, that's a whole different ballgame. You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If you planned this out, that's a bad thing. But if it got out of hand, if you went back just to try and talk,
Classic bait. Another one.
and it got out of hand, that's a whole different ballgame. You understand what I mean?
Doubling down, huh?
Okay.
Bold.
That changes everything.
You
But I don't know
don't
that
fix
because
what already
you-
works.
Right now,
Just do it again.
all I know is what we have.
The detective will now accelerate the pressure over the next 43 seconds. You will notice he is very good at conveying tone. It's not just what he says, but the way he says it. And you're about to see this have an effect on the suspect.
He's also locked in.
Like I said, this isn't going to go away. And this is going to be something that's going to eat at you. It's going to eat at you until we get it out. I'll tell you right now, let's not go back. We're going to figure it out.
Mm-hmm.
Now's your time to say, you know what, this got out of hand. I'm sorry. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, he's sorry.
Goes a long way. What happened? Let's work through this.
Yep, it goes a long way.
I just don't want to get nobody else in trouble.
Okay.
What Josh means here is that he doesn't want to get anybody else in trouble other than his wife, and he very much associates himself with the category of anybody else. He still really doesn't want to get into trouble. All that's happened here is the detective was applying an effective variation of pressure, and the suspect crumbled like a deck chair, well and truly folded like an overcooked noodle. And he now feels like he has to act like a good person. So he starts providing details with a profound demeanor as if he's unveiling something significant. But you'll notice that nothing changes with regard to his culpability, and his intention of implicating Amelia to save himself has not changed in the slightest.
That's not really good shooting.
I mean, if you love Amelia, listen, if you love Amelia, you're going to put her under the bus? You don't want to do that, do you?
JCS Cinema.
I'm scared for everybody
I know
else.
you're scared. I know you're scared.
I didn't throw the gun away.
Okay, tell me.
I left there at maybe 10 something. But before I left, the same guy that Amelia, I guess Amelia paid him. The same guy came up to my car. He said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I wanted to talk to her to get the money back." And he's like, "Oh, Amelia, or Jay sent me here." I'm like, "Sent you here for what?" And he was like, he had a gun to my head.
Oh!
He's like, "I know you have a gun. Give me your gun and leave." I left. I went to Alchemy.
Oh! I got the gun. Now give me your gun. After talking normally. Dude!
Up here. He had the gun. I went back to Alchemy. I drove to Daytona. Came back home at like 5:30 in the morning. And that was it.
Josh.
That's it. He's good.
Why did you put a gun in your head and take your gun?
I don't know. All I know is Amelia paid them $10,000.
To put a gun to your head and take your gun?
I don't know why she paid them.
Josh. You know you're making this hole that much bigger. You know that. That doesn't make any sense to anybody. Okay? No. mean, how would these people know where to find you? And then all of a sudden they found you and took your gun.
Even
To do
really?
what? Frame you? You know, throw the
Really,
gun
Big
over the
J?
bridge. And that's what I really think happened to this thing. That you threw the gun over the bridge. We know you went to Daytona because we got the receipt and everything else that you went to Daytona. We know you got gas over there. All right? What makes more sense is, well, I mean, you threw a gun because you used it.
No.
Yes. Josh, when people come in here and tell us, I was driving around for a while and I can't remember where I went, or I don't, you know, that we know, I know exactly what's going on there, okay? And for you not to tell us that you went to that apartment, there's a reason why, all right? So again, this is not to figure out who, it's to figure out why. And this is your time.
Face.
This is you. This is you.
No,
We've talked
it's
to Amelia already.
was it
The suspect is sticking to his new storyline. So just like with
face,
Amelia, the second detective will engage him from a different angle.
red,
And we asked,
dash,
who's the most important person in Josh's
droopy
life?
eye,
He said, I
dash,
assume it's me.
eyes,
And I said, he's not going
and
to
a
do
dot again.
It's going to jeopardize your future, right? And she goes, I wouldn't think so. So when I asked Amelia who's the most important person in her life, what do you think she said?
Me.
Yeah. And
we presume this falsehood was intended to evoke a sense of empathy from Josh towards his wife, perhaps with the hope that it would motivate him to protect her, and as a result start being...
No, come on, chat. Do we agree that's not a bad strat? It's a bad strat? Chat, why not say that it's the kid so that this guy flips on her?
being honest, but all it seems to do is bolster his confidence in his new fantasy novel.
You're over here saying that she paid somebody to kill these people.
Yes.
So my thing is that
I'll tell you right now, straight up. I was there. My gun was taken from me by some black guy that said he knows Jay.
Oh, really?
Amelia gave him
Really?
$10,000.
One of you is a really awful person.
Jay.
Someone is letting their spouse go to prison for the rest of their life for something that they did.
Really?
Is it you or her?
Okay.
I didn't. I don't have a bone in me to kill anybody.
Okay.
So, I'm trying to figure out how they took the gun from you. Explain that. Walk me through that.
Okay, I was sitting in my car.
Where?
In front of their apartment.
What time?
This was 10 something.
Before, okay.
And they said they were sitting there around the corner since
Who said that?
The same guy.
How did you know that?
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
What do you mean? How do I know?
Well, they said they were sitting around the corner. How did you know that?
He told me, he was like, we were watching you. We see you talking to this lady. What's going on? Did you tell her that Jay, you spoke to Jay? And I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I came to talk to this lady to try to resolve an issue. And he put a gun to my head and he said, I know you have a gun on me. I don't know how he knew I had a gun on me.
Again?
In the first place. He took my gun and he said, leave.
What did that guy look like?
Probably 6'5".
That's a rather unambiguous height for a professional hitman. You would think they would sort of need to blend in, but that's probably why his rates were so cheap.
Bald black guy.
Really,
not black
dude?
clothes.
Like African American?
Yeah.
You know what? I mean, if I may, you know what I see? I see somebody who's trying to explain
Well,
this
it's,
gun, and see the only reason
His view of what a hitman looks like is some NBA player, dude.
Listen, hold on a second. Why on earth would this guy need to come up to you? Okay, first of all,
it's the same.
No, listen.
More like
you wanna say
5
that they
foot,
happen to be
5
there at
foot
the same time you
9.
were
That's
now.
the perfect
Okay?
hitman
They
height.
just happened to be there at the same time you were, and he happened to know that you had a gun, and he happened to put a gun to your head and take your gun away from you. That's what you want people to
5
believe.
foot 9.
Does that? I mean, just listening to it said by somebody else, does that make a lot of sense to you? Why does he need your gun? Why?
I don't know. All I know is
he had a gun.
I went there at between 3:30, 4 o'clock ish. Talk to her. I come out. I go and sit in my car. I'm vaping. I have my window down.
And a very tall black guy takes his gun at gunpoint, while being courteous enough to provide a
Vaping?
thorough explanation of why he's doing so. You've heard it before, as have the investigators. So they close out the initial phase of Josh's interrogation.
All right, we'll be back in just a minute then. We're gonna go talk to her some more then.
Time is now approximately 16:30 hours.
Blanket or something.
Yeah, well, I think my one partner tried to find you one.
It's cold.
We now have to go back an hour and 40 minutes to begin Amelia's Phase 2, where Phase 1 left off.
Okay, so if you remember something, we'll listen.
Ooh. Surely they're gonna tell her about the 6'5" black guy. She's gonna remember.
40 minutes go by with Amelia fidgeting with her nails, attempting to sleep, and pacing back and forth in the room. She then knocks on the door. The officer who made her arrest will now answer. It's apparent that he's built some level of trust with the suspect.
Yes, ma'am.
Hi, is the two detectives there?
They're busy right now. I can relay something to them, but it may be a little bit. What do you need?
Oh, no, it's fine. I'll let it go.
Okay. You want to talk to them though?
I'm cold and I just want to talk to them.
Okay, I will look for a blanket for you, and then I can't help you to talk until they're done. But I'll let me go get you a blanket, okay?
Okay.
There's two of them. I know you're cold.
Ooh.
Hey, you need to talk to them. You need to get out from underneath this big time. Did they tell you who they work for?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're homicide detectives, so.
I know.
And they want you to be a witness, not a suspect.
Okay.
So the only way it's gonna happen is you gotta talk to them.
That's why I want to talk to them, because I just don't want to be involved in any of this. Like,
Okay.
I don't want any part of this. I want to be able to go home.
Okay.
Yes,
Do you know what happened?
I do.
What happened?
Bro, wait, this guy went from being rejected because
It's
she wanted to see the
Hank.
other guy, and now he's fully in.
Well, it's about this whole check situation.
This guy
We're not
clutched.
talking about the check situation.
This is the LeBron of investigations.
What do you know?
My husband called these people. He
My
pretended he
goat
was somebody
trader.
else. He got their address and he went over there. All he kept saying to me is, "I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it."
What did he tell you
Yeah,
afterwards?
he's got the cup building.
When he got home, he didn't really speak to me.
Okay, but eventually he told you what happened.
No, he didn't tell me that he killed anybody.
Where's the gun?
He got rid of it.
Where?
Daytona.
How do you know?
He told me.
Okay, so he tells you he's getting rid of a gun, but he doesn't tell you he murdered someone. Did he tell you he murdered someone? See, that's the part you can't hold back from. Sweetie, I'm being honest with you. I have no...
If I say all of these things, will I get in trouble?
Oh
If you
man.
don't say any of these things, you're definitely going to get in trouble.
He didn't tell me.
Even if her parents didn't teach her anything or whatever, dude, there's so many references in like pop culture or like movies or shows that like, come on,
Killed
dude,
him. He said I
really?
handled the situation. It was he
Did
never.
he describe how, what?
He never physically said like what he did or if anything was done.
Did he say he shot him?
Well, I'm guessing he had his gun, so
Don't guess. Did he tell you that he shot him?
yes.
He said he shot him. Where did he go?
Oh, I don't know. He didn't say anything.
But he said he shot him. Okay, and then after... Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He told me if I say anything that he'll kill me too.
And this is after you knew he shot him.
Yes.
Okay, well, you ain't got to worry about that. About him trying to hurt you. Because he's never going to see
That's
the
not a
light of
G
day
for
again.
Josh, a G for her and
But
Josh.
when they come back in here, sweetie, everything. Okay?
I just don't want anyone to think that I didn't know that it was gonna I didn't know that this was gonna happen. Why would he do something?
What a trade. He gets two
Like, why
blankets,
would you do
gets
something
double
so
confession.
stupid?
Smurf, delirious
It's just
Smurf.
two innocent people. Like it's just like why?
Don't worry about it. Listen, I'm going to get them. They're talking to someone right now. But I'm going to have them come here and talk to you, okay?
And then put me in the middle of this. A child.
I know. Don't worry. Don't worry.
So fake.
I'll be back in a minute, okay?
The detectives re-enter Amelia's room an hour later. It's been 12 minutes since they finished the first phase of Josh's interrogation.
Okay.
All right, we'll see.
Okay. Got your blanket, huh? Okay, so Amelia, now, we were talking a little bit more. Josh told you, I guess apparently when we first, you said he took care of business when he got home that day. Okay.
Yes.
There's more information, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
She repeats what she told the arresting officer. The second detective will now clarify that Josh's main accusations are false.
So as we sit here right now,
Yes.
Josh telling us that you paid Jay Prasad to kill these people, that's a lie.
That's a lie.
And that's all they need from suspect number 1.
God, this is insane.
I would agree with you.
Yeah. Hi, Amelia. The time is now approximately
GG.
17:37 hours. That concludes this interview.
I just don't understand why I'm like.
I think we've tried to explain it to you.
I understand that, but I don't want to go to prison for something I didn't do.
Now walk and
For
say
something
nothing.
I didn't have
Say
a
nothing.
part of, for something that I didn't.
Amelia,
Say
I'm
nothing.
trying to figure that out.
I just wish you would tell the truth.
Doesn't give a shit.
Jeez.
Holy.
The detectives re-enter Josh's room 14 minutes later at 5:52 p.m. The other narrator will now be
Figure it
taking you
out.
through the second phase of his interrogation.
Better?
Putting everything else aside, just imagine being Josh right now. One moment you're in dreamland, and the next you're jolted back into interrogation room reality, being asked if the blanket is helping with the cold by the guy who's
This is
controlling
AI.
the thermostat.
It is
I
AI.
actually want to follow up with
What
you
has happened?
because, you know, we went back and talked to Amelia. And, you know, again, we're just trying to understand. She's saying one thing, you're saying another, and we think probably the truth's somewhere in the middle. You understand what we're saying?
I probably asked you this already, Josh, but when did you hear about this murder, about these people being killed?
Maybe, I think Wednesday, not even, I didn't even really, probably Thursday.
Okay, did you see their pictures or figure out who they were?
Yeah, I saw the pictures and I was like, holy shit.
And what did you think?
I was like, what the hell is going on?
Okay, did you ask your wife about what happened?
I didn't ask her anything.
Why not? I mean, to me that would seem like a natural thing.
For me, well, I asked her, hey, did you talk to Cynthia? And she didn't answer me.
Did you ever tell your wife that you killed these two people, and if she said anything, you would kill her?
No.
And her whole family?
No.
Okay.
Never.
Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Jesus. Man, really, dude?
You would kill her?
No.
And her whole family?
This guy's just
Okay.
retarded.
Never.
He has to be that.
Have you told us the truth today?
Really, Jay?
Okay. You initially lied about the gun.
I'll say that on recording. I'm scared as shit. I lied about the gun. But from when I left the house at about 3:30, somewhere around there, I got to Cynthia's house, knocked on the door. Sean answered the door, and I sat and talked with both of them like they were family to me.
Okay.
But after I got done talking to them around 11 o'clock, I got in my car, sat down. I was vaping in my car. The last apartment's here.
Right.
There's a dumpster here.
Yeah.
I was sitting in my car here vaping. He came from this way. Literally, like, I don't know where, blindside, because there was a white car parked next to me.
Right. Why did you decide to sit there and vape?
I was trying to get a hold of Amelia. And that's when he came up to my car and was like, yo,
Can't
give me a piece.
stick
He saw
user.
my gun in the center console. And I froze. I couldn't move. I was like, listen.
That's sick.
I was like, don't. He was like, oh, give me your piece.
Would you have expected your wife to say that you did this if you didn't do it? Are things that bad?
I mean, she said I forced her to get married. So,
but I mean, she's basically sending you to prison for the rest of your life.
I would never expect that from her at all.
You gotta understand something here, okay?
Okay.
If you care about Julian at all, do you really care about that kid?
Yeah, I do. I love him like
Okay,
he's my
so
own
let's
son.
talk about the only innocent person in this whole thing, amongst you guys,
Correct.
is Julian.
Yes.
This little 7-year-old boy that you take to school every day, that you love like your own. You're willing to see his mother go to jail for the rest of her life, is what you're telling me. Because you're basically saying that she paid this guy Jay to go kill her and the grandson. Fine. If that's the way you want to go, then guess what? When she gets in trouble for it, she's going away. And then Julian grows up without a mother, okay? Now, I don't know about that, but to me, if that's not the case, that's a really shitty thing to do.
I understand that.
And you're going to have to, well, okay.
And that's why I'm telling you now, that if that's what it has to be, because for me,
Really,
all I know is
dude?
she gave Jay the money.
And you're saying these two people are dead because of it.
And I don't know if that's the
Again?
reason why. All I know is Amelia.
How could you say you don't know that's the reason why?
I remember this day. I was sitting on the toilet. She
I
said,
don't want to hear about you sitting on the toilet.
I'm going to talk to Jay.
Right.
He said, we've been watching you. We know why you're here. And I said,
okay.
What the fuck?
So
and
I was
vaping in his hand.
What the
I was
fuck?
vaping. And all I felt was something pressing
Chat,
against
what
my
the
hand.
fuck, chat?
I put my vape down, grabbed my gun, and I gave it to him.
He rambles for another minute before the detective sharply cuts him off and
Who are
accelerates
you?
the pressure.
Who are you?
Josh, it's just going to keep compounding, Josh. Compounding and compounding, and it's not going away. And I've told you from the beginning, if this is something that happened that got out of control, then we can understand it, and that works. You got your back up against the wall.
If I tell you the truth, will Amelia get in trouble?
Huh?
If I tell you the truth, will Amelia get in trouble?
No, if you tell us the truth, no.
I don't want anything to happen to her or Julian.
We need this.
So just like in phase 1, he's about to alter a minor detail in the narrative that changes absolutely nothing. But you have to appreciate his acting chops.
Dude, the same attitude and kind of like verbal as the other narrator, but really, dude, we're not buying it.
Get a load of this
We're not buying
theatrical
it.
exhale in about 3 seconds.
We need you.
Mom.
She needs this. Julian needs
Mummy.
this. What happened?
That Thursday night, she told me she's gonna call Jake and have him take care of it. I just don't want to get her. I don't want her to get in trouble for this. I'll take them. Whatever it is you have to give to her, I'll take it. I'll take it.
Josh,
what you just said is really no different from what you've been telling us all day. I mean, that's...
Let's stack this all up, okay? Your gun's gone. We don't know who took it. It just happens to be gone. The brand new gun that you bought. And you sat here for, what, 15 minutes about why you threw it over a bridge.
Josh looks pretty sad that his last piece of admission didn't have any effect. In about 30 seconds, he's going to try again, but up the intensity.
All right? Every time I keep pointing out something to you that just doesn't make sense, it keeps, you keep flipping it. You keep changing it, okay? That doesn't look good, all right? Who killed these people?
Say it.
When Jay's people.
What, is Jay that big of a guy? Does he have that kind of people?
He said he knows people.
What did he say? Let's talk about the conversation.
Oh, let me guess. It's a gang. Let me guess.
It's kind of like he's auditioning for the next Star Wars movie, and he's about to rehearse the most breathtaking fucking paragraph in the history of the franchise.
Nope.
That night, Amelia came back in the house.
I didn't laugh.
The additional piece of detail he provides is that Jay originally asked Amelia for 25 grand, not 10.
So why would you say this before? I didn't want her, so she won't get in trouble if I tell you this. Why did you say that?
I don't want her to get in trouble for this.
Well, then tell us the truth. How about that?
That is the truth.
Oh. Everything we've talked about, why now? All of a sudden, the gun going off the bridge, all these different things have not been the truth.
It's not
now,
serious
all of a sudden, you aren't
enough.
telling us the truth. Why is that?
I just want to make things right.
Like you
I don't
can
think you do.
get a joke in every now and then, but
Josh, I think
now
you
you're
shot
just
and killed
doing
these
it
people.
every 5 minutes.
You have
It's
a
not
big
funny,
decision to
man.
make. You've already messed up.
What
as
do you mean,
much as
who do you think did it
you're
then?
gonna let her
He
go
did it
down.
then.
You really want to take her down with you?
They plotted.
What do you have to gain? What are you going to get from taking her
sent
down
him.
with you? What? What is there to gain? Nothing.
And she was going to cover for him.
You have an absolute motive, too, to have these people killed. All those things add up to a circumstantial case for first-degree murder.
No, Jada, are you listening?
And your
Really?
answer to it is, this is her. She's driving this boat.
She is.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but she is.
So it was Jaden.
Again, like we said, one way or another,
you got me.
you got a lot to deal with. Your story just doesn't make any sense. And for you, again, to take Amelia down, I guess I'm kind of, at this point...
And I'm not being selfish. My thing is, we've been together for 7 years, and I've done the world and back with this girl, her son, herself, with her baby daddy problems, and...
She says you're abusive, mentally and physically.
Baby daddy problems.
Baby daddy.
She says you're abusive, mentally and physically. So...
Bro, this guy keeps quadrupling down. This guy, man, holy shit.
That's the picture that she's painting of you.
And that's not me. I mean, that blows my mind.
No.
That blows my...
Both of what you have said today blows my mind. I mean, there's just a lot of problems. A lot of problems. So we'll just have to see how it pans out.
What time is it now?
It's about 7 o'clock, Josh.
She also might have said that you're abusive and you hit her.
Surprise
in the face.
sometimes.
Every day. Damn, this guy. Cooked.
Just walk out. Oh, geez. 07.
Oof.
07.
There's something poetic about a husband and wife spending their last several hours of freedom sitting just inches apart from each other, yet completely separated by a wall, betrayal, and the desperate need to save their own ass. Amelia cooperated with the police from this point forward and was sentenced to 3 years. The murder charges were
What?
dropped, and she was only charged for the theft. Josh was taken into custody, where he was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder and denied bond. He would see his wife again 3 years later at his trial, where she testified against him.
Okay.
It took just 10 days for him to be found guilty, and he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility.
Okay. She commits fraud, then she has a motive, right? She has a motive set in stone. She lies to police multiple times, right? Then confesses to at least some form of accessory or knowing that something happened. Doesn't report it, lies again, then confesses to the rest. 3 years?
Yeah, she got saved because she has a child.
Dude, they must have been like maybe missing something on this guy. To really
the only
get him.
reason they
cut her a
dropped
deal
it
for the fucking like make sure that
because
they got him
she's
for
a
sure.
woman with a child.
Like
Because she's
there
a
must have
mother.
been something, right?
of parole.
There's no other reason. There's just pity. Like her pity act worked, I guess.
In what year is this?
Her pity act just worked.
But look back.
I mean,
Guys, what year is this, by the way?
it's kind of bad. It's embarrassing for the law, but it like such a shitty pity act. It works. It's just it's
already out.
terrible. That's just dog shit.
Chat, yes, I know we live in a really weird world these days. Chat, what if he's watching the stream right now? Massive shout out to JCS. I'll link it in chat. Okay. It's cool to see the GOAT come back. Also, probably dealing with some bullshit IRL or with the channel people or whatever, right? Which really sucks, and it sucks that they had a couple of roadblocks because they were the first to do this type of content, which they kind of walked so others could run. But I have to be honest, it still sucks that they're struggling so much. They had to change the voice, and it was speed up at first, and then to the other one, man, that's kind of a heartbreaker. Chad, you hate to see it. Chad, that's like something you see like uploading YouTube videos and then struggling, and then you make another video and it's not even them on camera. It's like somebody else entirely. And it's like, dude, really? Like,
Yeah, it's just changed forever. They
yeah,
fell off.
that's cooked because now you know there's a problem. Because now you know there's a problem for a fact. Now, it's undeniable now that there's a problem behind the scenes. They're swapping fucking mid-run. Maybe the guy doing the voice just fucking quit.
It's very
in the middle of this, like,
it's just unfortunate. It's just again. Okay, I'm gonna go just get your rant after this is done. Okay, here. Listen. This is the difference between YouTube and Twitch.
Dude, what echo, motherfucker?
Right?
You keep saying
People
that
hate
for
Twitch
hours,
because
no?
Twitch has ads a lot, and people hate that. Also, Twitch has shit rules and then applies them inconsistently, so you just get banned for absolutely no reason. And you can point in the rules that their warnings and bans are just not justified by their own rules at all. Right? I've done it in the past. It's shit. But the thing is, with YouTube is a lot better, but it's shit still because they have the rules still, and the rules shouldn't exist. The rules are shit. They're shit. There shouldn't be any rules. They're shit. Okay? Right? The advertisers aren't gonna like it. Well, if everybody removes the rules, then of course the advertisers aren't gonna like it, but they have to like it now because everybody has the rules removed. So just put in an effort to choose who you add to instead of just letting YouTube do it. Because you're a lazy shithead. You want people to see, but you're not picking your audience. It's just dumb. Like, you're wasting your money, man. Fucking retard.